Recently, I had a conversation with my dad, and just to put into perspective on this issue, my dad was in the military for like 10 years. He worked on like highly classified, like government projects. I guess I should say he was like a security guard after he got out of the military, but he had clearance to basically everything he ever wanted. Like he was actually very high status, like within that space. And now he works in like one of the biggest, like highest level tech companies in the world. Like extremely smart man, extremely well read. He was reading like tons of books on psychology and like religion and a bunch of different stuff when he was younger, like my age, and he was way smarter than I was at my age. And that's actually part of this conversation on why we are the stupidest generation. Me, myself, I'm also pretty well read. I read books. I have a book I read this month back here. I have another one that I'm about to finish for the month of November. So I've read two this month. That's most 99.5% of people are do in literally a year. Most people don't read at all. I'm a 17-year-old online entrepreneur. I've made a couple $100 doing online business. I originally did like fitness coaching. I'm also in like pretty good shape. So I'm a pretty disciplined, like high performing type of guy within my generation. Like if we were to put me in like my stats, quote unquote, if we were to like turn this into a video game, my stats against my generation, I would actually be quite a high performer. I'm also in one of the most advanced educational programs in my country. My dad, on the other hand, when he was younger, he was also all the same stuff. My dad was a very high performer in his generation, and I'm a much higher performer than everyone in my generation. However, he was better than me 100%, and I'll give him he can hold his candle up until I get to that point. Maybe I can get him on the money because this generation we have better opportunities. The conversation was something like this. We're in the garage, and every like maybe week or so, we'll have one night where we're in the garage and we're talking for like 4 or 5 hours just about stuff. And we were in the garage and we were talking about why is it that my generation is so much stupider? Me and you, our generation is so much stupider than our fathers were. And the thing is, it's so funny that psychology hasn't changed that much. People from 200 years ago are the same as they are now, the same as they are 50 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago as today. The main thing that's changed is culture, and the culture behind learning has been bastardized so much. And the thing is, how the conversation kind of went is we were both coming up with ideas of why it is that it is the way that it is. And it's like, well, maybe it's because like TikTok and like people were wasting time. And I was like, no, because people had TV before and they would waste time on that. And he was like, well, maybe it's something to do with like, your generation doesn't want to learn. And I'm like, no, we do want to learn, because when we do learn, we like learning. We like learning about history. We like learning about art. Like, what is the reason? And this is actually scary. Think about it. Think about like how weird that sentence I just said. It's scary. It's because we have the same amount of time. And the thing is, a 20-year-old now is never going to be the same intelligence as a 20-year-old then. They have the ability to be way smarter, but they're never going to be as intelligent as a 20-year-old then. And I'm going to tell you why. Because of media, social media, whatever. Part of the reason is because we don't spend as much time learning. But the thing is, what we learn about isn't necessarily helping us. Back in the day when you'd watch a cartoon or a show or whatever, it'd be based on history. It'd have a lesson, have a moral. It'd be like a very masculine guy and a very feminine woman, and they would like show you how to interact with each other. You would learn relationships a lot from TV and your parents. There was no such thing as like online relationship coaches or in-person relationship coaches. That didn't exist. That wasn't a thing. You learn from there. You will learn that you're supposed to run into the burning building as a man. You would learn that you're supposed to help out your man and provide and take care of him as a woman. You would learn how you were supposed to interact with people. You would learn all these things. Now today, think about the thing like the average like kid or guy, I should say, our age watches. It's anime. It's cartoons. It's TV. It's movies that spin the narrative, that have these huge, like massively exposed like character traits. And it can be like super high levels of perfection, super high levels of like confidence where it shouldn't be placed. And it breeds an arrogant, idiotic generation, because the thing is, you only have so much time. But our generation, like every generation before, likes consuming things. That makes complete sense. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just how humans are. You consume content, you're consuming this. I'm going to consume later. I'm going to go read books and I'm going to watch podcasts and all these different types of things. I'm going to do the same thing. It's just what we choose to spend our time on. Think about that. We only have so much time, and the thing is, our generation wastes it. Our generation is a group of critical thinkers that's like, exercise is bad for you. And you might be thinking, yeah, well, the old generations did that and all, like, yeah, they said the same stuff, and they didn't really know how to train back then because maybe you're like a fit guy and you saw like the old like 50s programs. But they didn't know better. We know better. We know for an absolute fact that exercise is good for you. They knew, but they didn't like know. We only have so much time. And the media machine is constantly stealing our attention. Your attention is stolen. It's not chose to go in a direction. When you see a thumbnail on YouTube, you click it because of the colors. When you see a title on YouTube, you click it because of the question that it poses to you, about the curiosity. When you keep watching a video, it's because somebody's captivating and they're gaining your attention. They're holding it and they're keeping it and they're like dragging it away from you. It's not because you chose to give it to them. You might be choosing to give it to me now to spite me because I'm saying, oh, you don't choose, you don't have a choice. But what's going to happen like 10 seconds from now when your attention span runs out, which is what the average attention span is? I think it's like 6-7 seconds. 6-7. That's another thing with our generation. What's going to happen? You're going to click off and go to the next video with an interesting title and thumbnail and with a more captivating guy. Maybe I am captivating. Maybe you want to listen to me. I like to think that I'm pretty good on camera. We only have so much time. The thing is, in spite of this, we do actually have the most successful people ever. We have the best athletes. We have the most money. We have the most knowledgeable people about history. We have the smartest people ever. Like, it's not even close. And the thing is, it's like a U curve. It used to be back in the day. I just got done reading the book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan something. I think his name's Morgan. I don't really remember. I can't find it. I don't know. It's in the closet. It's fine. But I just got done reading that book, and it was talking about how everybody from essentially 1945 or 1950, was it? It was 1950 to 1980. Basically, the lower class and the like high, and I forget is it upper? It's upper class, right? The upper class basically had the same life. There were slight differences. Maybe the upper class people had like maybe a slightly nicer car or maybe a second TV versus one TV. But everybody during that same time period had basically the same stuff. This was right after World War II. They had basically the same stuff. They had essentially the exact same resources, the exact same knowledge, the exact same education, the exact same groceries, the exact same home teachings. It was all the same. So it was like from the lower class to the upper class. It's basically the same. It makes no difference. Now, today, our lower class is down here and our upper class goes, it shoots up. And after I think around, I want to say the study said like 120, 140K a year of income, that your life doesn't really improve much more. But we have the richest people ever in our generation, in our lifetime. And you might be thinking, oh, well, they're actually old. If you compare all of like the billionaires now, like Musk, if you think about Bezos, if you think about, what's the other guy's name? The investor. What is his name? You might be thinking about it. The guy who's known for investing, Warren Buffett. If you think about these guys, where were they at our age? You don't get 15-year-olds who are millionaires, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds. You don't get 20-year-olds who become millionaires. You don't get, I think Mr. Beast is the youngest billionaire ever. I think he got it let me look it up. When did Mr. Beast become a billionaire? June 2024. He was 26 years old. That never, ever in history has happened up until today. So that's why we're the stupidest generation. But I hope you can have some level of insight, some level of like drive and desire on how to beat everyone. If you don't know how to beat everyone, or you just want a little bit more motivation, I have a free lock-in protocol in the description, completely free. I teach you everything from getting in better shape to socializing to meeting girls to sex to what else do I teach in there? So much stuff. It doesn't even matter. I teach you literally everything you could possibly need to know about locking in, changing your life, and reversing yourself. From me, as someone who was a former suicidal kid who had like colored hair, like green, blue hair, like one of those kids who was playing like Doki Doki Literature Club, like in front of my parents, like a fucking twat. If you want to learn from me and how to become pretty successful, highest educational program in my country, former varsity wrestler, former nationals volleyball player, former boxer, I said wrestler, but tons of other sports, former calisthenics YouTuber, coach, entrepreneurial, guys like this, athlete. If you want to learn from me, 20 girlfriends in 1 year. Fucking exhausting. Never do that, kids. Then that is in the description. I also have my newsletter, which you can sign up for. It's just basically daily motivation for you to keep you on the right path, to keep you having something to consume that's going to constantly ground you. Because there aren't too many people like me who are going to be posting content and giving you videos and all these types of things that's going to give you the reminder of this is the path I need to be on. I need to be improving and I need to be making myself better. I need to lock the fuck in and actually make my best progress like all the kids in my generation are not. That's been everything. Do your best at doing your best. Trust God. Signing off. Oh shit, I hit the wrong key.